learn is the finest quality a leader should have. It's a quote by Padma Shri Warrior, who's the CEO of Fable Fitness Venture. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and dignitaries. Once again, a warm good evening to all of you to an exuberant meeting of Kottayam Toastmasters Club. Today, my topic for presentation is leadership lessons from some women leaders. I have chosen 4 Indian women from 4 different arenas here. So you might be thinking, why women leaders? Why leadership lessons only from women leaders? Why not men? So let me move on to that. Even if we take the corporate scenario also, if we check the numbers from 2014 to 2019, the number of MD, CEO or women directors, if you check, the number is increasing. Even the total number of MD or CEO directorship positions are also increasing, but the percentage is kind of stuck in 3, not going above 4. It's kind of 3.2 to 3.6. The percentage of women or leaders are stuck somewhere in between 3 in the Indian corporate scenario or corporate world. But there is another fact which I would like to bring in notice here for you is that women leaders are always in demand in the global scenario always. And according to the National Center for Women and Information Technology, the survey states that why women leaders are in demand. There are 3 reasons they are pointing is that better team dynamics, higher financial performance, and higher productivity, which at some point we are not noticing all these factors about women leaders. Another study which I would like to bring into your notice is about the age, the practice, how the practices of self-development by the gender, by about the age group. If you could have a close look on this graph, women are the green line represents the females and the black on the males. And if you go through it, they all start with the self-development theories and all those things at almost the same level. But as the age increases, you could see around 30 to 40, the women are showing that less in the self-development capacity, and after that, they are surpassing men in all aspects, like in self-development area. So might be family responsibilities, maternity, and all those factors bring them down to that point. But after that, if they are able to move or surpass, they are showing a huge change or gap comparing to the men. So I am taking 4, as I already told, I'm taking 4 Indian female whom I really admire. There are certain reasons also. So I'm mostly into this self-efficacy theories nowadays, because boosting my own self-confidence, or I do believe in myself. And that's why many of you know that I'm back to my studies and I'm back to climb my the corporate ladder again, which I left almost 10 years back. So one of the most important rule or practices which self-efficacy theories by Albert Bandura says is that practicing vicarious experience. Vicarious experience means find a role model. Don't mimic them, find a role model, observe them closely, whether it is a woman or a man who are a leader, observe them closely and try to bring their practices in your own life. So I'm now observing 4 women leaders, and let me take you all to have a look on who all are I'm observing now. The first person is Ramkripa Anandan. I don't know how many of you know her. She's the head of design in Mahindra and Mahindra. And you know that the XUV 500 and the global SUV, she's a chief designer of all the Mahindra brands, which most of the men admire. And she joined Mahindra in 1997 as an interior designer, but her growth chart, if you check her career, how her career grown within Mahindra itself, she's an ambitious woman. She is very much known for her technical and designing skills. So her education or educational or technical skills, which is a background, is backing Ramkripa Anandan. And her leadership traits, which I'm looking or concentrating now, is like education background, her designing skills, design approaches, motivations, and her interactive leadership skills. So among all, what I would say is that her strong educational background and designing skills, which keep her on the top notch in the designing industry. Another person is Geeta Gopinath. Yeah, many of you might be knowing she is having a paternal and maternal origin in Kerala itself. She's a chief economist of the International Monetary Fund. And most of the national leaders, even for our Chief Minister, Pinarayi Vijayan sir, she is an advisor. Narendra Modi, everyone, the entire world is looking at this woman for advisors. When an economic crisis comes, when the GDP go down, everyone is looking for Geeta Gopinath. And she's also known as the John Srastra Professor of International Studies in the Harvard University. But leaving all those things, let me take her take to talk about her leadership traits. She is such a hardworking, focused woman. At the very tender age, she wanted to focus on her studies. She wanted to lead. She wanted to be a leader. Always, she wanted to be a leader, and she had some thing in her mind which she always want to achieve. And she is having impeccable academic credentials and open-mindedness, and she always fights for the oath. But among all these, I would say her hardworking, focused nature made her what she is now. Then Mithali Doreraj. If you're talking about Mithali Doreraj, she's an Indian women cricket team's captain and almost completed 20 years with international cricket. Talking about her strengths, she believes in teamwork, but her thought is in different way, that if you believe in yourself, be what you are, work harder, then lead your team, then only you will be successful. And the last but not least, a very own KK Shailaja ma'am. She's very well known as the health minister of Kerala, and how she worked during even the Nipah outbreak or even the coronavirus and all those issues when Kerala have gone through. According to me, her leadership traits, the most important one are her recognizing the power in the leadership and her openness and transparency, and also how she makes tough calls early and effortlessly. So look at some person or a role model, look at their important traits and try to bring it in your own life and practice it. That's what I would like to focus at this moment. And as I said, not only women, you can focus on the men leaders also. Even the women, of all these four women, according to me, is wow men, not just women. So I'm practicing the self-executive efficacy practices through the leadership traits of this woman, and also you can also practice through your own leaders or role models. Over to Toastmaster of the day.